أنا رقية وحسين أريده، وينه متى أضم واشتم وريده، وينه ريته يمر على راسي بيده.
Hussain, 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 Hussain. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. Hussain has been martyred, Hussain has been martyred. I told Jannah, please don't take father, who whatever goes, they never return. My father then told me to him, I'm so dear. My father then told me to him, I'm so dear. The time has now come for us to part. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. Hussain has been martyred, Hussain has been martyred. After he was slain, they came into our tents. They slapped me on my face, and they snatched my earrings. Do they not know we are the Ahlul Bayt? Do they not know we are the Ahlul Bayt? Oh grandfather, where are you? The earth trembled, the skies blackened. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. Hussain has been martyred, Hussain has been martyred. Sakina cannot sleep, her father has been slain. Oh father, where are you? I want to lay my head upon your chest. I want to lay my head upon your chest. When will I see you? When will I see you? The earth trembled, the skies blackened. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. Hussain has been martyred, Hussain has been martyred. When I fell down from the camel's back, Zainab cried out, and no one took heed. But then, Father, your head fell off Holy Spirit. But then, Father, your head fell off Holy Spirit. When will I see you? When will I see you? The earth trembled, the skies blackened. The earth trembled, the skies blackened. Hussain has been martyred, Hussain has been martyred.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to today's virtual workshop. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, and this is friendship. I know all of you like to make friends. You're all so happy when you see your friends, always smiling and playing together. It's amazing to have lovely friends. So today in our workshop, we're going to explore what good friends are like and what not so good friends are like. And we're going to look at this through the Holy Quran and through the Hadith of the Holy Prophet and the Holy Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. So let's get started. We will explore this further in our lesson today, and we will see that good friends are like the sunlight. When the bright sun is shining, You know where you're going. You can see the right way. Good friends are like that. They show you the right path. However, friends that are not so good cover up that brightness. They're like the gray clouds in the sky that cover up the sun. We will explore this further in our workshop today. We will see what qualities make a good friend and what qualities to watch out for when we're building friendships. The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, has said, when you make friends, look for a person who, when you look at them, they remind you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you talk to them, they give you good knowledge. They give you good knowledge that takes you towards the right path. As you know, good friends talk about ideas, good ideas. They don't give you bad ideas. Yeah? The Holy Prophet further said that a good friend's actions, the way they behave, remind you of the hereafter. So you have to make sure when you're looking for a friend, make sure that that friend has got good behavior. So that good behavior rubs off on you. Yeah? So I want you all to think about this, and I'm sure you will all agree that your friends have a big impact on the way you are. So you have to be very careful on who you make friends with. If you make friends with someone who has good habits, that goodness will rub off on you. However, if you make friends with someone who is not got very good habits, then you have to be careful not to catch those habits. For example, if you have a person if you are friends with a person who always wakes up for Fajr Salah, that will make you motivated. That will make you feel that even I want to wake up for Fajr Salah, isn't it? However, if you have a friend who's always gossiping, who's always talking about other people, then that might rub off on you as well. You might also feel like gossiping about other people, which is haram. Friends are those that give you good ideas, not bad ideas. We can see good examples of friendship in Karbala. Look at Umar Sa'd and Yazid. It was Umar ibn Sa'd who commanded the army to kill Imam Hussain and his family and friends. Yet it was Yazid who had given them the order and the idea to do this. So a bad friend would give you bad ideas to go away from Islam, would cover up the truth for you, would make false promises, just as Yazid did with Umar ibn Sa'd. Umar ibn Sa'd was very well aware of the status of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Yet it took someone like Yazid to guide him away from the right path and make false promises to him. Yazid also made false promises to Umar ibn Sa'd, saying that he will make him very rich if he goes and kills Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So you have to be very careful not to be friends, first of all, with someone who is a tyrant. Yazid was a tyrant. He was killing people for no reason. So be careful not to be friends with a tyrant. Secondly, Yazid lied. Therefore, be careful not to be friends with someone who is a liar. These kind of people will take you away from the right path. Even in the Holy Quran, it says, be with those that are truthful. Therefore, you must make sure that in your surrounding, you have people who speak the truth, who can guide you to the right path. And imagine if we had a strong community like that, and our community was of people who are faithful, sincere, and truthful. Wouldn't that be an amazing place to be? This reminds me of a story of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Let's have a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There was once a person who came to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and this person told our Imam alayhi salam, he said, oh my Imam, oh Imam Hussain, I want to be your friend. I want to be your best friend. And Imam Hussain said, don't worry, of course I'm your friend. You are my friend. Don't worry. And the man said, no, 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 I don't want to be an ordinary friend. I want to be your best friend, best friend. Imam Hussain said, okay, but to be my best friend, you have to have these three qualities. So, firstly, you should not praise me unnecessarily. Secondly, you must not lie because lying is bad. And thirdly, you must not gossip. That's another thing that we have to remember. To choose someone who does not gossip. That means talking badly about someone behind their back. Yeah? So that man thought, I need to work on these qualities. I have to work on stopping to lie, stopping to gossip. And so he said to the Imam, Imam, give me some time so that I can build these good characters in myself and I can be your best friend. So the Imam gave this man a big hug and he said, look, I'm sure we will become best friends. And the man said, the man was so inspired that he started building up his character. So he started to stop lying, stop gossiping, and stop praising other people unnecessarily. Even Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, says, beware of making friends with a liar. Yeah? It is said you cannot choose your family, but you can choose your friends. So you have to make sure that you choose the right friends. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, was asked about what kind of friends to avoid. And Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam replied, you must not be friends with a traitor. You know what a traitor is. That's a bit of a hard word. Someone who has not got your best interests in mind. So you have to be careful not to be friends with a traitor. He also said not to be friends with a tyrant, someone who's very cruel to people. And also avoid friendship with someone who gossips, who's always talking about people. So you have to be very careful who you be friends with, because such kind of people can take you to Jahannam. Because such kind of people can take you away from the right path. And on the day of judgment, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Furqan, ayat number 27 and 28, it says, and the day when the unjust one shall bite his hands and say, oh, would that I had taken away with the apostle. Oh, woe is me. Would that I had not taken such a person as a friend. Even on the day of judgment, if you and your friends have been meeting each other and doing those things that are not right, on the day of judgment, you will be blaming each other. Oh, he made me gossip. Oh, she made me gossip. Oh, she made me lie. Oh, he made me lie. And then in the end, you would just feel so frustrated and think, oh, I wish I would have not taken such a person as my friend. Look, now I have been misguided and I am at loss. See? So it's very important to make sure that you have chosen the right friends. The saying of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, is very important to remember right now. He said a good friend is like a mirror, and that friend should have these qualities. The first quality is that what they feel about you and what they say about you is the same. Secondly, they consider your good to be their good and your bad to be their bad. So if something good happens to you, they're happy for you. And if something bad happens to you, they feel sad and they try to help you, isn't it? The third quality is that if they become rich, they do not leave you. Just because they become rich, they forget about you. No, a best friend never forgets you. They're always there for you. Fourthly, they always help you in the best way they can. So another good thing to take away from this is that good friends are always reliable. You can always count on them to be there for you at your time of need. They will not leave you when you need them. That's a very important quality to have in a friend. So, as you can see, when you have good friends, their character always rubs off on you. As it says in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Zukhruf, ayat number 67, He says, the friends on that day, He says, the friends shall on that day be enemies to one another, except those who guard against evil. What does that mean? Why would friends be enemies one of each other on the day of judgment? This is because these were the friends who were guiding each other away from Islam. These were the friends who were taking each other away from the path of Allah. However, those friends who were righteous, who were good, who were being truthful, who were helping each other in goodness, these friends will be happy in the hereafter. This is what this ayat is trying to tell us. Therefore, we must be very, very careful about who we make friends with. Try and be friends with those people whose qualities take you to the right path, not the ones whose qualities take you away from the truth. Yeah, because they might be misguiding you. They might be taking you away from what is right. In the Holy Quran, it also says that we should try and make peace between one another. So if we see that two people are arguing, we should try and make peace between them. Good friends are always there for you at your time of need. In Karbala, we see examples of some very good friendships. Remember, friends always guide each other towards the right path. They don't leave each other astray. Now, Imam Hussain alayhi salam on his journey sees the tent of Hazrat Zuhair ibn Qayn. He sends a messenger to invite Zuhair ibn Qayn to the right path. Zuhair ibn Qayn at first was reluctant. He did not want to meet the Imam. But his wife Dalham convinces him. And Zuhair ibn Qayn comes to meet the Imam. The Imam talks to Zuhair ibn Qayn, and then Zuhair ibn Qayn is convinced that Imam Hussain alayhi salam's path is the right path. And he renews his friendship, and he comes and he joins Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And on the day of Ashura, he is there to defend Imam Hussain alayhi salam. At the same time, on this journey, Imam Hussain alayhi salam meets another person, and this was Ubaidullah ibn Hur al-Ju'fi. Imam Hussain invites this person to the right path. He sends a messenger to go invite him to the right path. But Ubaidullah ibn Hur al-Ju'fi says, no, I cannot help you. Imam Hussain then himself goes to visit Ubaidullah ibn Hur al-Ju'fi to invite him to the right path. But Ubaidullah says, no, I do not want to come and help you. But you know what, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, I will give you my horse. You can take my horse, but I'm not going to come and help you. No, I can't do that. Imam Hussain alayhi salam gets very disappointed in seeing the answer of Ubaidullah ibn Hur al-Ju'fi. And he says to him, no, I don't need you, and I don't need your horse as well. And he leaves Ubaidullah by reciting this verse from Surah Al-Kahf. Nor do I take those who mislead as helpers. So you see, Imam Hussain alayhi salam's message went out to everyone. He tried to guide all his friends to the right path. He was being a good friend. And that's what friends do. They invite each other to the right path. And then it is your responsibility to choose, to pick, and to see which friend of yours is on the right path. And children, if the Imam is inviting you to the right path, then that is the path that you should take. We should all aim to make our Imam, Imam Muhammad Mahdi Sahib al-Zaman alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, our best friend, because he truly is. Inshallah, now I will pass it over to Auntie Zain, who's going to tell us about another special friend. Let's hear from Auntie Zain. And inshallah, I'll see you next time.
Assalamu alaikum, children. I hope you and your families are all well and safe. Now, we just heard Shafina Auntie talking to us about friends, about friendship, about good friends, the qualities of a friend, types of friends that we should have. And we're now going to talk about somebody who was so special, such a special friend to Imam Hussain and the Ahlul Bayt. Now, this friend was so special. He had been the friend and the companion of the Prophet, of Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, and Imam Hussain. So he had been for one Prophet and 3 Imams. Can you imagine how special this friend must be? And this super special friend that we are going to talk about, his name is Habib ibn Madahir. Now, who was Habib? Habib was from a tribe called Bani Asad, and the Bani Asad tribe were from Yemen. So he wasn't from Makkah, he wasn't from Medina, and he wasn't related to the Prophet or Imam Ali or Imam Hassan or Imam Hussain. But he was valued by the family so much. Like I said, he was a companion and a friend of the Prophet. So he had supported the Prophet. He had fought in so many battles with the Prophet. He was then there with Imam Ali. He fought in so many battles with Imam Ali. And he was so treasured and so valued by Imam Ali that Imam Ali, he had five special, super special friends. Okay, they were like his soldiers. They were the ones that he trusted. They were the ones that he told everything to. And amongst those 5 was Habib ibn Madahir. That's how special he was. He supported Imam Hassan, and then he was there for Imam Hussain. Now, one story that we know is when the Prophet was walking one day, and he was walking with Habib ibn Madahir's dad. And suddenly he took Habib ibn Madahir's dad, and he hugged him, and he kissed his forehead, and he was crying, and he's holding him and hugging him. And Habib ibn Madahir's dad said, Ya Rasulullah, what happened? What did I do? You're hugging me and kissing me, but you're crying? What happened? And he said, I look at Habib. I'm watching Habib. And he is walking behind my Hussein. And everywhere Imam Hussain, everywhere my Hussein is going, Habib is behind him. And Habib is taking the soil, the ground, the dust that Hussein is walking on, and he's putting it on his face. And he's taking the dust, that soil, and he's putting it on his face. And he said, this Habib will be there for my Hussein. Now, as we know, I just mentioned that Habib ibn Madahir was so treasured by the Ahlul Bayt. When Imam Ali changed the capital of his Caliphate from Medina to Kufa, Habib ibn Madahir and his tribe of the Bani Asad, they went with him. They went to Kufa. Habib ibn Madahir stayed in Kufa, and some of his tribe were with him. Some stayed near and around, and some were in Karbala, near Karbala, because the distance between Kufa and Karbala isn't that much. It's not that big a distance. When Imam Hussain was going towards Karbala, Bibi Zainab was worried. They had an army, but along the way, some people had said, we can't do this anymore. And Imam Hussain had never said to anyone, you have to stay, you have to help me fight. No, he never asked anyone to stay. If you want to stay, you are free to join me. If you want to leave, you are free to leave. But he never told anyone, you have to stay. So along the way, the army got smaller and smaller. Bibi Zainab was worried. And Imam Hussain said to her, don't worry. The true friends, the ones that are real friends, those are the ones that will stay with us. Don't worry. The only person Imam Hussain asked for help was from his childhood friend, his most valued friend, Habib ibn Madahir. Imam Hussain wrote a letter to Habib ibn Madahir telling him that he was now in Karbala with his sisters and his family. Now in Kufa, where Habib ibn Madahir was, Yazid was so scared that the people of Kufa would go and support Imam Hussain that he had put Kufa into a lockdown. Just like we were in lockdown where we couldn't go out, we had to stay at home, we couldn't see anybody, we had to be very careful. They had a curfew where they weren't allowed to go out at night, they had to stay in their houses, but if they were seen to be outside at night, they would be killed. So they had to be so careful, and the people of Kufa got scared. So even if they wanted to go and support Imam Hussain, they couldn't go because they were scared that they would be killed by Yazid and his people. So Imam Hussain needed to get this letter and his message to Habib ibn Madahir. So he sent his messenger to go, and the messenger went when it was dark so that he couldn't be seen, but he still had to be careful. Now he got to Habib ibn Madahir's house, and Habib ibn Madahir was just about to eat his food. And as he started to eat his food, he heard a knock at the door. So he said, "Who is it?" Because nobody was supposed to be out in the evening after dark in Kufa, so he was worried. So he said, "Who is it?" And the voice replied, "I am the messenger of Imam Hussain." And Habib dropped everything and he ran to the door. And when he saw the messenger, before he even took the letter, he kissed the messenger's head and he kissed the messenger's hand because he had come from his best friend, from his Imam, from Imam Hussain. And the messenger ran away quickly because he was so scared that he didn't want to be caught. Habib took the letter. Now, in the olden days, it was an Arabic tradition that when you signed your name, so if I write a letter to somebody and I sign my letter to you and I say from Zain Auntie, okay? If the letter had good news in it on the envelope, they would sign their name and their father's name. But if the letter or the message inside had bad news, they would sign using the mother's name. So if that message had good news, Imam Hussain would have signed it as Hussain ibn Ali. But when Habib looked at the back of that envelope and he read Hussain ibn Fatima, he started to cry. And he said, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." And he started to cry. And he opened the letter and he read the letter and he was crying. So Habib ibn Madahir's wife said, "Habib, what happened? What does the letter say?" And he said, Hussain needs my help." And he was crying. So his wife said, "Why are you crying?" He said, "If I go, you will become a widow. I will not return. I will be killed if I go. You will be a widow. Our children will be orphans because they don't have a father." And Habib ibn Madahir's wife says, "Habib, if this is what you are going to do, if you are going to be this sad, give me your sword and I will go and I will fight for Hussain. Why are you standing here?" So he looked at his wife and he said, "Thank you. I just needed to know that you loved my Imam, my Hussain, as much as I did, and you are okay for me to go." She said, "Habib, Hussain needs you. You have to go." So he told his slave to take his horse. Now remember, they couldn't be seen to be going out. They had to be careful with what they were doing. So he told his slave, "It's dark. take my horse and go to this place outside of Kufa and wait for me until I come. So the slave took the horse and he went and he waited. And the next day, Habib ibn Madahir, when they were praying Asr namaz, so for namaz everybody went to the mosque. When Asr namaz was being prayed, he went and then he quietly slipped away while the town was praying so that nobody would see him. Now when he was approaching where he had told his slave that he would meet him, Habib was a bit late. And as he was approaching, he heard his slave, and he heard his slave's voice. And his slave was talking to the horse. And he says, "Oh, my master's horse, my master said that he would meet me at this time, that he was going to help Imam Hussain. He hasn't come yet. So now, one of two things could have happened. Either something has happened to my master and he's late, or he's changed his mind and he doesn't want to go and help Imam Hussain. I don't know." And then the slave said, "Oh, my master's horse, I tell you what, if my master hasn't come by this time, I will ride you, and I will go, and I will help Imam Hussain, and I will go and fight, and I will be there for Imam Hussain." So when Habib ibn Madahir heard this, he started to cry. And he came to the slave, and he said, "You've brought my horse, you've met me, now you are free. I give you your freedom, you go. You don't have to go back to Kufa, you go where you want." And the slave said, "Oh, my master, in this world, when I don't have freedom and I'm doing work, then I'm not free. Now I have the chance to go to Jannah and you're telling me to go free? No, I will remain your slave and I will come with you and I will fight and I will give my life for my Imam Hussain." So his slave, an African slave, went with him, and the two of them rode on one horse and went to Karbala. Habib and his slave on their horse approached Karbala and the camp of Imam Hussain. And Habib saw his childhood friend, his face, Imam Hussein's face, and he jumped from his horse, ran towards his childhood friend and hugged him and kissed his forehead and kissed his hands and fell to his feet. But the companions of Imam Hussain, when they saw Habib enter, they started crying takbir of Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. There was so much noise of the companions chanting Allahu Akbar. Bibi Zainab got worried and she said, "Ya Bibi Fiza, what is happening? Fiza, is the army already attacking us? Go and see who has come." Bibi Fiza comes out of the tent and she sees who has come, and she comes back into the tent and she says, "Ya Zainab, Habib has arrived." And Bibi Zainab starts to cry and she said, "Fiza, oh Fiza, please tell Habib Zainab gives him her salams." So Bibi Fiza goes to Habib ibn Madahir and conveys Bibi Zainab's salams to him. And Habib ibn Madahir starts to cry. And he said, "What has happened? What has happened? Where are we? Where today the granddaughter of the Prophet, the daughter of Ali, is giving me salams when it should be the other way round?" Now, Imam Hussain felt better. He felt more at peace that Habib was there. Habib's older brother had also arrived, Muslim ibn Awsaja. So Habib ibn Madahir, he told Imam Hussain, he said, "Listen, my tribe, but my tribe, they're around here, of Bani Asad, they are here. Let me go and see if they will come to fight. Let me get an army together. So Imam Hussain said, sure, go. So he went to speak to his tribe. And when he went to speak to the tribe, they were ready. They were ready to come. They were ready to fight with Imam Hussain. They were ready to bring all of the tribe, all of their people to come and help Imam Hussain. But Shimr, that bad man, Shimr, heard what was happening. And he sent an army to stop the army of Bani Asads from coming. So they could not come and they could not help Imam Hussain. Now the night before Ashura, Bibi Zainab was worried still. She was worried about the loyalty of the companions. Would they all still stay? Would some of them go? By morning, what would happen? And Muslim ibn Awsaja, Habib ibn Madahir, they heard this. So Habib ibn Madahir, he gathered all of the companions that were there. And he gathered the army and he went to Imam Hussain. And he said, Imam Hussain, he said, Hussain, we will give our life for you 70 times over. Tell your sister that she does not have to worry. We are here. And we will not leave you. And we will be there and we will fight for you and we will die for you. So when Bibi Zainab heard this, she felt better. The day of Ashura comes. The battle has begun. And Yazid's army is saying, come on, who's going to come and fight us? Send somebody to fight us. So Habib says to Imam Hussain, let me go. Now the one thing that you have to remember is that Habib ibn Madahir was much older than Imam Hussain. He was 75 years old at the Battle of Karbala. Imam Hussain was only 57. So there was a big age gap, yet still there was this closeness. Okay? This 75-year-old friend of Imam Hussain is saying, let me go. Let me go into battle. So Imam Hussain, he said to him, no. I need you. I'm peaceful when you are here. Now before the battle had begun, Imam Hussain split his army into three. He had the right wing, he had the left wing, and he had the middle. On one side, the commander of the one side was Zuhair ibn Qayn. On the other side, the other commander, Habib ibn Madahir. That's how much he loved his friend. And in the middle, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. These were the three who would lead Imam Hussein's army. That's how much he valued his friend, that even at the age of 75, he was the one that would lead part of the army of Imam Hussain. Finally, the time came. Muslim ibn Awsaja, he was Habib ibn Madahir's older brother, went and he fought. And when Habib and Imam Hussain heard the cry, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah, as Muslim ibn Awsaja fell, they ran to him. And Habib is holding his brother. And he says, oh my brother Muslim, I wish that I could ask you what your wasiyah is, what your will is, what you want me to do. But he said, I can't, because I don't have the time to do whatever it is that you want. We're all going to die here. But I can give you the good news that you will see Jannah now. And Muslim ibn Awsaja looks at his brother and he's weak. And he says to his brother, Ya Habib, my wasiyah, my will of what I want you to do is very simple. Do not leave Hussain. And he pointed to Imam Hussain. And he said, do not leave Hussain. Fight for him, die for him. Don't leave him. And Habib ibn Madahir was crying. And he said, oh my brother, that I can do. I will make sure that I do that. Muslim ibn Awsaja died. Then came the time for Habib ibn Madahir to go into battle. Imam Hussain helped him onto his horse and he went into battle. Now, can you imagine? He was 75 years old. But this is a man who had fought with the Prophet in battles. He had fought with Ali in battles. He was a strong soldier, a brave warrior. This 75-year-old special friend killed 62 men. 62 men on his own of the army of Yazid. But eventually he was struck on the head and he was killed. And Imam Hussain went to his friend and he said, Ya Habib, I bear witness that you are Hafiz-e-Quran. You knew the Quran off by heart and you would recite it every day. And I am telling you that you will see Jannah now. That's how special Habib ibn Madahir was, that he knew the entire Quran off by heart, and Imam Hussain knew this. Habib ibn Madahir died. He was the first of the shuhada to be beheaded. When they cut off the heads, his was the first. His was the first head. But they didn't put Habib ibn Madahir's head on a spear with everybody else's. No. They took Habib ibn Madahir's head and they tied his head to one of the horses and they dragged this head dragged all the way when the caravan was taken to Kufa and Sham. And as they approach in Kufa, one little boy is running behind. He's running behind this caravan. He's running behind the head. And somebody said to him, "Why are you running behind the head?" He said, "My name is Qasim. That's the head of my dad. That is my father's head. Please give me my father's head so that I can bury him." After the Battle of Karbala, the Bani Asad tribe came and they buried the bodies. But Habib ibn Madahir was their leader. He was their tribe leader. And they didn't want to bury him, they decided, with the rest of the shuhada. So they buried him about 10 meters away from the body of Imam Hussain. Now, today, more than 1400 years after the Battle of Karbala, when we go to Imam Hussein's Haram, we first have to go to Habib. And we have to go to Habib ibn Madahir. He is the first grave we go to. And we have to ask his permission before we can carry on and go to Imam Hussain. Now that is a real special friendship, that even now those two graves are still so close together. We say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Al-Fatiha.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ayataki. I'm 5 years old. Because mosque is closed with my daddy ma, dada, daddy, mama, papa, and my little brother Ahil and me. We watch Madras on TV and we watch Madam on TV and we do Madam at home with my little brother Ahil. And every morning I watch Ismat Auntie's lectures of Imam Hussein's journey to Karbala, and we watch Shafina Auntie's and Tyra Auntie's workshops. And on the day of Ashura, we are going to do Amal and do Zadari all day. We pray dua so coronavirus goes away and mosque opens quickly. Good Hafiz. Hello everyone. Do you know when is night time? We put a Madlis on the TV. I listen it with my brothers, with my mommy, daddy, and me. And and then my papa does some noha, and then we do matam. Bye. This is my cousin Karen. She's my best friend.
And Kira, who's that?
This is my cousin Nora. She's my best friend.
So Nora, can you tell us why is Kira your best friend?
Because we love telling each other secrets.
And Kira, why is Nora your best friend?
Because we love hugging each other. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Today I'll be talking about my best friend called Siana. And the day before yesterday, she's really kind. And the day before yesterday, she was at the Majlis with me, and we drew a picture, but I don't know where it is. So, and she's really kind and nice. Really liked her. And I did have a lot. And we're like twins because we do the same things, but we live in different houses. And we had so much fun together. One day we were playing at a picnic and it was so much fun. Bye. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My best friend is kind. He's loving. He plays with me all the time. He's funny. He helps me pray namaz. He helps me be a good Muslim. And teaches me how to do football. And he says not to give up and try my best. My best friend is my dad. Yasin, tamam alam mein yaad matam, Hussain bekas ka ho raha hai, alam garon mein sadi hui hai, dilon mein farshe azab itcha hai, tamam alam mein yaad matam, Hussain bekas ka ho raha hai, Shia kapare shia shadar, Kumu ki gardo gubar sar par, Aso gwaro ki आँख जारी सनी जहरा बिरिदा है तमाम आलम में याद मातम हुसैन बेकस का हो रहा है अलम में मसके सकीना देखो तमाम में नो बस ये कह के रोलो चचा बची दी में क्या है निस्बत वफा है बस क्या वफा है तमाम आलम में याद मातम हुसैन बेकस का हो रहा है नमार पर दिल नबी पर अभी हुए है जुआन कबर ये क्या चल जैसा तू कर रहा है यही तो हम शक्ल मुस्तफ़ा है तमाम आलम में याद मातम हुसैन बेकस का हो रहा है तमाम आलम में याद मातम हुसैन बेकस का हो रहा है बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलामु अलैका या अबा अब्दुल्लाह अस्सलामु अलैका या इब्न रसूलिल्लाह अस्सलामु अलैका या इब्न अमीरुल मुमिनीन व इब्न सय्यिदिल वसीन अस्सलामु अलैका या इब्न फातिमतुज़ ज़हरा सय्यिदती निसाइल आलमीन السلام عليك يا صار الله وابن صاره والوتر الموتور السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبكي والنهار يا أبا عبد الله لقد أزمت الرزية وجلت وازما مصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل الإسلام، وجلت وازما مصيبتك في السماوات على جميع أهل السماوات. فلعن الله أمة أسست أساس الظلم والجور عليكم أهل البيت، ولعن الله أمة دفعتكم عن مقامكم وأزلتكم عن مراتبكم التي رتبكم الله فيها، ولعن الله أمة قتلتكم، ولعن الله مهدين لكم بالتمكين من قتالكم. برأت إلى الله وإليكم منهم ومن أشيائهم وأتباعهم وأوليائهم يا أبا عبد الله. إني سر لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم إلى يوم القيامة. ولعن الله على زياد وعلى مروان، ولعن الله بني أمية قاتبة، ولعن الله ابن مرجان، ولعن الله عمر بن سعد، ولعن الله شمرا، ولعن الله أمة أسرجت والجمت وتنكبت لقتالك. بأبي أنت وأمي لقد أظم مصابي بك، فأسأل الله الذي أكرم مقامك وأكرمني بك أن يرزقني طلب ثارك مع إمام منصور من أهل بيت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم اجعلني عندك وجيها بالحسين عليه السلام في الدنيا والآخرة يا أبا عبد الله. إني أتقرب إلى الله وإلى رسوله وإلى أمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإليك بموالاتك وبالبراءة ممن قتلك ونسبك لك الحرب، وبالبراءة ممن أسس أساس الظلم والجور عليكم، وأبرأ إلى الله وإلى رسوله ممن أسس أساس ذلك وبنى عليه بنيانا وجرى في ظلمه والجوره عليكم وعلى أشيائكم. برأت إلى الله وإليكم منهم، وأتقرب إلى الله ثم إليكم بموالاتكم وموالاتي وليكم، وبالبراءة من أعدائكم والناسبين لكم الحرب، وبالبراءة من أشيائهم وأتباعهم. إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم وولي لمن والاكم وعدو لمن آذاكم. فأسأل الله الذي أكرمني بمعرفتكم ومعرفة أوليائكم ورزق البراءة من أعدائكم أن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة، وأن يثبت لي عندكم قدم صدق في الدنيا والآخرة، وأسأله أن يبلغني المقام المحمود لكم عند الله، وأن يرزقني طلب ثارك مع إمام هدى ظاهر والناطق بالحق منكم، وأسأل الله بحقكم وبالشأن الذي لكم عنده أن يعطيني بمصابي بكم أفضل ما يعطي مصاب مصيبته مصيبة ما أعظمها وأعظم رزيتها في الإسلام وفي جميع أهل السماوات والأرض. اللهم اجعلني في مقامي هذا ممن تناله منك صلوات ورحمة ومغفرة. اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد، ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني هذا يوم تبركت به بني أمية وابن عاقلة الأكباد اللين بلالين على لسانك ولسان نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله في كل موطن وموقف وكفى فيه نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم نبأ سفيان ومعاوية ويزيد بن معاوية عليه منك اللعنة أبد العابدين. وهذا يوم فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين صلوات الله عليه. اللهم فضيف عليهم اللعن منك العذاب الأليم. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك في هذا اليوم وفي موقفي هذا وأيامه حياتي بالبراءة منهم واللعنة عليهم وبالموالاة لنبيك وآل نبيك عليهم وعليهم السلام. اللهم أن أول ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وأخوته بالله على ذلك. اللهم أن الإصابة التي جاء تسكن عند كمال حسين وأصحاب الحسين الذي بدر مهاجر دون الحسين عليه السلام. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم قل وليك الحجة من حسن صلواتك عليهم ولا آبائهم في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا مناسبا وليا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك توها وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أنا رقية وحسين أريده وينه متى أضم واشتم وريده وينه ريته يمر على راسي بيده.